today we're going to be interviewing all the people at the corporate village, especially Opus Homes. Opus, thank you so much for everything you guys do. Amazing. Do you know how much you guys raised today for us?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
The number one corporate fundraiser
Woo!
are the Andrew's gas right there. The number up, sister.
Over 41,000.
Amazing! Thank you so very, very much. Now, it's not all fun and games. In all honesty, they're cold. They're eating a couple of donuts and they're enjoying it. How were you able to get food? Because I was told you had to find tickets and you had to find like a scavenger hunt almost.
We went on a scavenger hunt, we collected our goodies, and then we started trading our goodies, our tarps for extra food vouchers and stuff. And then we had to hide everything. So come to our home, we'll show you our home, okay?
Come on over. Now, they're at the McDonald's house.
So we turned off the lights in our home so people wouldn't come in.
Keep our goods safe. Come on in.
I am. I'm following you guys.
Here we have our sleeping bags.
Oh.
Here, we
Did you guys provide these yourself or were
No,
these?
we had to
had to
find
find
them.
them and
Oh.
we had to actually trade for them. We set up in a camp in here.
I love how you just took off your shoes for your
I
little
told
shelter.
everybody to take off their shoes
I'm
before
gonna
coming
stay
on
in this
there.
little corner.
So everybody understood the rules.
We basically said, and we actually did some outreach. We went out there and said, guys, we have extra sleeping bags. We can help you too. And we did. We did. We helped
How
out.
nice is your coffee? Is your nice hot coffee?
This has been a super memorable and humbling experience. You know, nobody really knows what it's like to actually be cold and on the streets. And I'll tell you, this coffee and that bus ride was a lifesaver.
So I don't want to lie to everybody that's watching. This is a nice little shelter, but there is no heat here. This shelter is actually very, very, very cold. So those sleeping bags are nice on the ground because the ground would be extremely, extremely cold.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're able to sit on something warm because the ground is cold.
Before we left for our bus ride, some of us had a little nap. Some of us like Anthony over there.
Anthony, you took a nap on the bus? How long was the bus ride that you guys were able to take?
Oh, it wasn't that long.
About half an hour?
Or so, yeah,
About half an hour.
something
Very
like that.
informative.
We had to hike a kilometer to get to it.
Oh yeah, you got to get out. Do you know that there's coyotes out here, right? And I'm not gonna lie, there are youth that come from Keswick, there are youth that come from Stouffville and all of these areas. And sadly, there is no public transportation in this, so you gotta walk around.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So this has been a great experience. We've had a lot of fun. A lot of fun, but it's also been very enlightening to us as well.
Eye-opening for sure.
Yeah.
Which of the speeches have you guys heard, and who have you thought like, wow, you know, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you know what? I think just the personal stories really hit close to home, and you hear of what some of these individuals went through and really struggled, and now they've overcome all of those challenges, and they're living on their own now, and they have holding jobs, and that's all because of you guys. That's amazing work that you guys do.
Well, thank you very much for supporting us. Honestly, every time I saw your posts, every time I saw you guys, asking for an extra dollar and everything, I was so proud to call you guys our corporate partner, to call you guys one of our best sponsors. So thank you so much for believing in the 360 experience. Thank you so much for believing in our 360 mission, which is, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is prevent youth homelessness and end youth homelessness.
Yeah.
Most of these programs that we provide are here to prevent. We don't like to call it shelter. We like to call it home, an emergency home. Have you guys been? Yeah, you've been to the hub. I know you've been to the hub. I have your pictures.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the things is we don't like to call it shelters. We don't like to make it institutionalized. This is a place where kids can come and feel like they actually have a home. And you've been to it. So for those that have not been to the home base, it is worth a trip to go to the home base. What else have you guys done in regards to the scavenger hunts and going out there in the cold?
To be honest with you, it's been an amazing team bonding experience. We have staff here. Anthony, who's never a person who wants to get involved with these types of things, is getting out of his comfort zone, joining us on this adventure, and our fearless leader challenged us with it, and we all signed up because of her, and because of her leadership, because of her belief in the program at 360, and we support her in that. And I'll tell you, there's no greater person to work for than this woman.
Aww. That's what this is about, guys. This is about building team, building empathy in your culture, and building that, community involvement and that connection of you guys are family. So thank you very much for taking place in this, okay? And thank you. And this is it for Opus Homes. Thank you very much, Opus. We will be continuing our live broadcasting. Don't mind me. I'm trying not to fall. I am here with Jesse Singh, who is on the bus. What
is this
happened on the
live?
bus? Yes, it's live.
Oh, what's going on, people that are tuning into 360 Kids?
This is our virtual team is turning on to our YouTube channel right now, and
sick.
they're trying to learn a little bit of what's happening here at the corporate village. So maybe tell us a little bit of what happened on the bus.
Yeah, so we took a lot of the participants who were here at the corporate village on the bus. But before getting on the bus, we actually took a quick walk up to the actual bus itself. Which
And
is
by a
about-
quick walk, how much was that walk?
About a kilometer and a half.
Oh.
So, yeah. But the whole idea of the walk was to mimic some of the things that our young people actually have to go through when they are looking for housing or looking for shelters, especially late in the night. Because in York Region, there isn't many services for youth, especially youth shelters that are open, so their options are limited. And many individuals who don't feel comfortable going to the city just for their own particular reasons, like downtown Toronto, will end up getting referred to many of the, or some of the few shelters in York Region. But one of the ones is specifically is Sutton Youth Shelter, which is
Yep.
a great staff, great facility. But getting there sometimes
It is far.
very challenging, especially because the bus doesn't go directly to the facility. So many young people have to get off and actually do almost a kilometer hike through the forest, essentially. No lights, pitch black, just to get to where the destination is. So that was kind of mimicking that idea. But the whole aspect of the bus is because that's very important to many of the young people that we serve. Because when there's not a place for warmth, when they're getting kicked out of Tim Hortons or little places that they can't really stay at overnight, some of them will resort to public transit just as a means of warmth. Sometimes not for a direct destination in particular, but just to get a place to catch a break, try to figure out what their next moves are. So that's what that whole aspect of it was. And I did a quick introduction of who I am and some of the services that or programs that I've worked with.
And who are you, Jesse Singh?
I've been with
Other than giving me wrong telephone numbers.
I've been with 360 Kids for about 7 years now. I started off as a co-op student, but I've also been part of several programs in the past. So I started off in home base. I worked in some of the employment programs. I've also done Hope, which is our residential home for young women coming out of human trafficking, which I often talk about as one of the most eye-opening experiences for myself, because being a male staff in that environment, it was transformative for me to learn a lot of the biases that I carried, but also to learn about some of the privileges that I held being a male, especially walking in the world without realizing it, And I think that was something that was huge for me to see, and I actually learned a lot from the young women that I worked with, as much as I was there to support them and kind of build a relationship as to what a healthy male relationship should look like. It was also something eye-opening for me to learn from them as well. And currently, I'm in the Family and Natural Supports program, which is a brand
Woo!
new
Amazing program.
Yeah, we just started, and one of the main purposes of it is to build a relationship between young people and their family or their natural support system, which can be friends, family, whoever it is that they feel comfortable with. But the whole idea behind that is that as much as support workers and professionals in the field, as much as we can provide that support system for them, there's nothing greater than having that
Amazing.
personal relationship involved in a young person's life. So the idea is to transition them back into that and kind of bridge that gap and build that
Family
relationship.
reunification. Amazing. Jesse, thank you so much for
you.
jumping on live with us, okay? Everybody, we're going to take a break now. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will try to text again for another live update.